Good afternoon, both of you. Could you guys please state your name and what do you do here at KHS?
My name is Lindsay Figge, and I work with the 9-10 students here at KHS. I've been doing it for 6 years, and honestly, I didn't ever see myself doing the high school age, but I really like it.
Okay, I'm Tim Carter. This is my 11th year at Keokuk High School. I was a school counselor for 4 years before that. Before that, I was a high school English teacher for 5 years, and then before that, I worked with adolescents. I always like to, since I got out of college, I always like to say that I've worked with adolescents since I was one. So, and that's really kind of true. So.
What are some things that you guys do when you work with students here as counselors?
Whatever needs to be done to help them get through whatever they're going through. It could be a personal issue, it could be what class do I take? I want to drop this class, I don't have class with any of my friends, I hate my lunch, I do all of those things, all the way up to, you know, preparing for life after high school. What do I want to do? Do I want to join the military? Do I want to go to college? I want to go straight to the job for. And then all the adolescent angst that comes with, more so with 9th
I
and 10th
have that
graders.
a little bit more than you do probably.
Yes, but they're still.
They
there.
are. I think one of the things I honestly love about this job is when we come, you never know what the day will bring. And so it really does keep things interesting, you know. I do spend a lot of time working on grades. A lot of the freshmen I feel like don't quite understand, since in the past it didn't really count. Now it does, so just helping the 9th graders understand GPA, you know, matters, especially if you're going to college, and just passing those classes. And if you fail them, you have to retake them. I wish I had a little crystal ball to show them what it will look like down the road when they fail a class. So I do spend a lot of my time working on that with the freshmen.
And it's really important because it's easy to fall behind as a 9th grader. And once you fall behind, you're just kind of struggling to catch up all the way through high school. So you don't get to truly enjoy and experience high school, the things that we have to offer here. So. And
I mean, that's one of the things I say to freshmen. I'm like, whether you are going to go right into the work field, go to a tech school, go to college, whatever you choose, we want you to be able to have that choice. So your senior year, we want you set up for success.
What are some things that you guys offer for the students who do fall behind and do need help catching up?
That's more your
Lunch and Learn, which has the fancy title of, hey, come and have lunch with me and we'll learn.
Sounds nice.
It does. So that's just, I do goal sheets with students. When they're failing, you know, we talk about, why are you failing? Some of it's organization. Sometimes in those conversations I find out something was going on outside of school that is impacting their performance, and that happens, but it's helpful to know that, so we can figure out a solution to help them be successful. So we do meetings with them. I set up Lunch and Learn. I do make parent phone calls to make sure, you know, life is busy, that everyone at home is aware, like, hey, they're struggling, what do we need to do to help with that?
Is there a progressive rate where things do get better once students are given options and something does help them?
For some, yes. For some, it's challenging. A lot of times it clicks more their sophomore year or even second semester. I see a difference because they kind of see the effects that I'm telling them. One of those things that you don't understand it until you're living it. So
I understand that, I'm not sure if both of you operate the 4-year plans whenever we become freshmen. Would you guys elaborate on what the 4-year plan is? Because some students are not fully aware of what the 4-year plan is.
The 4-year plan, I think, is a good way to describe it. It's kind of a basic blueprint when you're an 8th grader to what you think high school is going to look like.
And that's more that piece of paper. I do call my meetings with freshmen and sophomores 4-year plan, because we're still continuing that. We're updating it. We're looking at, okay, now that you're here, maybe you don't want to take this class you thought you wanted to take in 8th grade, so let's look at this class.
Yeah. And I think it's probably a good way to look at it is In 8th grade, it's in pencil, and as we progress through high school, we darken it in with pen.
Yeah.
And as you figure it out, like Mrs. Figge said, you think you're going to take this and this and this in that order, and you get to high school and you decide that's not what you want to do. So it's a progressive document.
Just making sure, and it changes. I always find it fascinating because I will ask the freshmen, what do you want to be after you graduate from high school? And you'll have an answer. So the sophomore meetings I've been doing already this year, some of them were completely different. They're like, oh no, not that anymore, this. And so it's interesting. Then we can adjust their classes. It's like, okay, well now that you want to do this, let's get you in this class. So.
Speaking of like what you want to do, what made you both want to be counselors here at Keokuk High School?
It's pretty neat to see the progression, watching you grow from a freshman to a senior. I get to see as Mr. Carter's meeting with them, students coming in and in the hallway, and you're just like, wow, there's a lot. Watching students walk across the stage that you didn't know if they would make it maybe. There's a lot of gratification in that, seeing them find their success.
So it sounds like there's a lot of emotion that comes along with being a counselor, since
absolutely.
you both get to watch your students grow through the years that they're here.
Absolutely. I kind of went into it because when I was young, there were some personal tragedies in my life, and probably could have drifted astray, and people, not necessarily counselors at school, but people at school helped me. And I actually went into working with delinquent kids right out of college. And it just kind of graduated into that. I remember saying I didn't want to work with normal high school students because they would be boring. And boy, was I proven wrong.
That's right.
Yeah, it's fascinating, and like Mrs. Figge said earlier, you just never know what's going to happen. When you come in that day. So, but it's neat to see them grow up.
My first job was actually in a classroom of students with behavior disorders, so kind of the same. I wanted that challenge. I remember but I don't know. My love language is acts of service and helping. So there's a lot there that can be said when you enjoy seeing that.
Well, to close out, what would you like to say to any of the students here at KHS who may need help with, let's say, their 4-year plan, or are just struggling in general, or just tips throughout high school?
Just reach out to us. We don't know if you don't reach out to us.
We can't read your minds.
We can't. But even in the hallway, you can't always tell.
No.
He's learned a lot through your class. You're
Absolutely.
able to help students more that way. I appreciate emails from teachers when they say, hey, I noticed this is different about this student, or I'm concerned about them, because then I know I need to call them in. But just let us know if you're email us, can we meet or what, because we want to help. That's what we're here for.
That's one of the things kind of post-pandemic, that's lessened a lot. We don't see a lot of drop-in people that just come in and hang out. That used to be the case. There would always be someone back here or out here or around just kind of hanging out, and that's just not the case. So today's student has become more comfortable being, I'll say isolated. I don't mean isolated, but they're more comfortable not dealing with people than ever before. So.
Kind of in an independent way.
Yes,
like you
yes,
said,
there are pros and cons.
Yeah.
But, and check your email.
Yes.
Check your
oh my gosh, please check your email. And your Google Classrooms.
Yes.
We post, we have the class of 2024, 2025. He posts a lot of important stuff on there, especially as junior and seniors. And I don't post as often as freshman and sophomore, but usually when I do, there's something we're trying to share with all of you. So email is so important. I know it's not as personal, but we can always schedule a meeting
Well, on behalf of all the students here at Keokuk High School, we deeply appreciate all the time and effort you guys put into every single grade level, because that is something that everybody here needs, because without you guys, honestly, we really wouldn't be able to make it completely through high school without having a plan.
It's very
Thank you.
nice. Yep.
Thank you. We
Very nice.
appreciate that.
Thank you
Thanks.
guys.